Hey, what up, guys? We're all live. We're all here. As we got Suni backstage, we also have our guests. We're trying to get them on. We have some technical difficulties that we're working through. So we'll go ahead and share this out and get that out there. Oh my God, noises. Noises.
Hey,
wow.
There's going to be more noises because I'm back.
Well, we're not worrying about you. No one cares about Kevin.
Everybody cares. Everybody loves Kevin. It's a sequel to Everybody Loves Raymond. Except now, Deborah is transgender. It's great.
Wait till you guys see Suni, by the way. Wait till you see what Suni has on today's show. It's something you never would think Suni would wear.
I do have to say, Suni is probably in a very weird mental state today, and so we will all have to be sensitive of her feelings.
Yes.
Aww.
She's very sensitive today.
When did I join a left? You guys are so sweet.
She's definitely she's telling us how much she loves us right now. So
yeah,
it's so great. Can
Suni,
you see that, Mom?
I'm on your side in all this. Okay, can you at least subtract half of it? Hey, your finger's broken. Your finger's broken.
All right, guys, we'll share this out, get it out there. We're gonna run the countdown and we're gonna get going.
What's up, guys?
Howdy, howdy.
You're back. Howdy, howdy. All right. So today, actually, first of all, welcome to Truth Will Set You Free. #BeTheChange. Please do not forget that we mentioned this last week. We are going to be doing away with live streaming on the Truth Will Set You Free YouTube page. It's going to only be on #BeTheChange. So if you're only subscribed to Truth Will Set You Free, make sure you subscribe to #BeTheChange. Otherwise, you're going to miss out when we go live because we won't be going live over there. Okay. Make sure that you subscribe to all of us on social media. We don't even have to read it off for you because it's all down below in the description box. So super easy breezy. Everybody's got merch. Everybody's got Instagram sites, Facebook, all that jazz. So make sure to follow all of us. Today, we have a really special show. We're going to be talking about some great topics. We've got Joe Biden falling off a bike. If you haven't seen that one yet, you're gonna hear some really interesting opinions on that moment. But I think we're gonna start off the show talking about that. Then we're gonna talk about the dying cows. Okay, this has been making me lose sleep. Like I can't stop thinking about these damn cows. There's something going on, so I had to talk about it. Then we're gonna be talking about the interest rate increase. Adam Schiff letting Stephen Colbert's staff into the Capitol building. How did that happen? We're going to be talking about the Fina World Swimming banning transgendered swimmers unless ... and you're going to find out what that unless is. We're going to be giving a Uvalde update, and there's like an update like that just came out today. Some screenshots of the video that are very, very interesting. So that's an evolving situation. And then we're going to talk about two white guys who attacked a young Black man or boy. Actually, I think he's a boy. I don't even think he's an adult yet. He was driving around in their neighborhood recklessly, and they took it upon themselves to approach him and throw something through his car window. And there was a whole situation there that we're going to talk about. And then if we have time, we will talk about the gun buybacks that have been going on in some cities and what our thoughts are on that. So make sure that you guys are hitting the like button as you join the live stream. Make sure that you are sharing it as well. Please also leave comments. We are going to be answering questions. If any of you guys have questions for our guest, which she's going to hopefully be joining us soon, we're going to have Bree on. If some of you guys have been on Suni's lives, Bree has debated on Suni's lives, and we're excited to have her. So drop your questions or comments for Bree or any one of us in the comments box. And as always, we welcome super chats. Anything else?
No.
Knocked it out of the park.
Yay.
Good job.
Good job, Mo.
I've missed you guys so much. It's been a very long 2 weeks. By the way, if any of you live in states that are kind of liberal on their gun laws, do not whatever you can do, don't let them get rid of state preemption. Like, I've been at city council meetings every night, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night for like 2 weeks now. Don't let it happen, guys. Don't let it happen.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the only thing I got for you on that one. Go
I
guns.
wish I could say the same, that I missed you, Kevin. I wish I could.
Amen. Can we just get like a clap hands emoji for like the shortest sentence Kevin has ever said ever?
It was a stutter, and it sounded like Joe Biden.
Just, God gave me gifts, and I like to show them off. Half of them aren't allowed on this screen, so I work with the half I got left.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
how are we doing? Is
Go ahead
Suni
and find my
coming back?
OnlyFans if you want to see the
Looks
other
like
half.
she's looking down at her phone, so I think she's still walking Bree through it. But just as a reminder, what was just mentioned about the Truth Will Set You Free channel on YouTube, we still got 9 viewers watching over there. I just posted a link in the comments. That's going to link you over to the Be the Change YouTube page, which most of you should already know where it sits. But just in case, click that link, switch over there. We're going to turn this page off somewhere in this conversation tonight, just to get everybody comfortable switching over. And we're going to do the same again next week. So make sure you get over onto that page. It looks like it's growing and watch it in viewers. Again, it's at 10. So switch over to the other one. What up, Al? We see you there. You're always on the right page. But should we jump into a topic since we're waiting? Is there one we can run with? Let's see.
I kind of feel like I don't want to talk about the first one because I really need Suni to be here.
We have to have Suni for the first one.
Let's talk about the cows, man.
Let's talk about the cows.
Like,
why do we have to talk about Kevin so much? But okay.
Yo, moo, mother. Hey, Mo thought I was gonna slip there. She did.
Yeah.
She really did.
Hey, you got to 7 minutes, so that's a good goal.
I want to talk about this cows thing because it's like one of the single greatest examples of hysteria I've seen in a very long time. Unnecessary hysteria. 2,000 cows died, right?
How interesting. 2,000 mules, 2,000 cows. I just thought about that.
No, that's fair. How many cows does this ranch have?
I think it's like thousands, if not a million. I don't know. I mean,
It's
10,000.
250,000 heads of cattle, and they lost 2,000. They lost less than, like, right around 0.5% through a terrible heat wave. Mind you, there's got to be something else going on because cows exist in Texas, which is always hotter than Kansas.
Right.
Here's another one. We've seen a bunch of fires in factories, in food factories, right? Processing plants. How many fires a year are there in industrial fires, industrial settings in America?
I don't know, but I'm sure you do.
Yeah, 37,000 per year, right? Mm-hmm. The food processing centers we're focusing on now regularly see 10 to 15 a year. It's very common, especially when you're talking about places where fried food is made. When you're talking about industrial level production of fried chicken, for example, the chicken tenders you get in your freezer, nuggets, they're cooked in massive vats of grease, massive vats of oil, right? Like, these things catch fire. I am like, my biggest thing is that this talking about these things, it's like, yeah, it's bad. These things are catching on fire. Has anyone actually looked into the commonality of this? Does this happen regularly? What occurs when this happens? Right? Like, I want to talk about the cows because this is great, wonderful, amazing propaganda. It's a great example of it.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, okay? The cows, to me, wouldn't be a big deal if it wasn't happening during these times, okay? There's just too much effery for me going on to now add 2,000 cows, which, mind you, I heard are $2,000 a head, which means they lost $4 million in cows. That's a lot of money, okay? That is a lot of money. And I don't know what these ranchers make or whatever, how they're rolling. But I don't know anybody who's just like blase about $4 million in lost cattle. Okay, if it were my cattle, and it was a heat wave, listen, I'd be out there licking those cattle. I'd be peeing on those anything to keep them cool and not lose $4 million. Okay. Like something just isn't right about it to me. It just isn't right. And like, it's that coupled with, you know, the fires that may happen, you know, every year or whatever the fact may be. And then there's all these ranchers coming out saying, no, we're ranchers and this happens all the time. But then I see other ranchers saying, no, this isn't common. And I've had at least over 75 of them in my inbox telling me that. So I'm hearing it from both sides. And I'm just wondering, okay, so the ranchers that are convincing us that this is normal, is their farmland owned by Bill Gates? Is somebody getting paid off? I don't know. It just seems suspect to me. What do you think?
So I have a question about all of these fires that Kevin's speaking about, because it doesn't seem to be very fitting. And the reason why I say that is, if you look at it, some of these facilities, I listed 97 of them in the last 17 months in a Facebook post. 97 of them. And some of them are the world's largest distributors of chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And to say that they messed up and they burnt down their facility, it was an accident.
Yeah.
97 of them, and they are some of the largest ones in the world.
Yeah.
How?
I mean,
and that's not a coincidence?
Grease fires are very common. That's why kitchen fires are the #1 cause of fires in the world. Like,
but are we sure that all of them do kitchen and they don't just chop up birds and send out raw meat to be able to go to processing in a kitchen?
Look, we got to assume that the people that are masterminding these plans are at least smart enough to have spent an hour studying the French Revolution or a lot of the revolutions. We're 3 meals away from a revolution at any given time. These people are very well aware if their method of eliminating the population they don't like is through starving them, you don't last long. North Korea is like the only place that's been able to do that for an extended period of time. You don't last long at all starving your people. You last a long time by giving them vaccinations. You can shrink it by encouraging abortion. You can encourage it massively. You can encourage it massively by convincing them to take sterilizing drugs. That's a very easy way to get the people to peaceably shrink the population size. You don't get the population size to willfully shrink by destroying their supply of food, because they will have nothing to rule over if they try to starve the world. They're not trying to starve the world. They happen pretty regularly at food processing facilities. Again, you're cooking in gigantic grease vats.
We're not saying we're going to starve the world. What is a weird coincidence that's a super hyped up thing that is at every restaurant and in every grocery store now is to make meat via a petri dish instead of actually using real animal products that we've been using for centuries.
Yeah.
Well,
so you can't tell me that it's not, there couldn't be an agenda here, like you're trying to say and implying. There could be an agenda here to move people to eating more of this Beyond Meat or the Impossible Meat instead of actual animal product.
I mean, the problem they're always going to run into is that the animals just still exist. Like, it'll be
There's
pretty
such
cool.
thing as
The meat prices don't have to go very high before butchers are buying venison from every single hunter for about $15 on the pound.
They still exist, but I mean, like, if you look at communist countries, those people don't get access to meat. And it's not that cows don't exist, it's that only the wealthy get to buy the meat. You go and get your allotment of food every week, and it's very little meat, and the meat that you get is expired or close to expiring. It's not good quality meat. I mean, anybody who has lived in a communist country will tell you that. They live on rice and beans and, bread.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, and then how long do you think the people that are currently in charge of America will remain in charge if that's what America is living on?
What do you mean?
I'm not sure I follow what you're asking.
Like how long do you think Americans will be willing to live like that before
Well, they won't have a choice. They're already working on taking away their weapons.
You don't think people in the military in America, you know, there are things that separate America from the rest of the world, and one of them happens to be our shared values, our shared history, and the kind of mythos it's built upon. The military in America will not allow the American people to starve to that extent.
But Kevin, how the communist countries were able to do what they do is they took away weapons from people, so people had no way to defend themselves, so they couldn't do anything. And the military was the government, and the military follows the orders of the government, and that's that.
Find me Yeah, well, I'm just saying, find me the communist country that is as well armed when this occurred as we are currently, even as poorly armed as we are now. There is none. Like the Armenian genocide, the year before the Young Turks a year or two. It was a year before that they disarmed, and then they started to slaughter. They got rid of all the guns first. We still have ours. The Holocaust, it was a year before. China, it was 1935, and then 35 years later, they decided to kill him. In Soviet Union, it was 1929, and then the starving started shortly after that. It's like, obviously, they're going to disarm. That's why I've been speaking at city council meetings. That's why I am fighting so desperately right now for people to understand just how important this Second Amendment is. Because you can say, like I'm trying to right now, the reason why I can say this, and this is what I've been trying to set up, the reason why I can talk the way I do is because the American people are armed currently. I will not be able to say this if we let our guns go.
But you know what else scares me? And this is kind of getting away from the topic of the cows, which I do want to move back towards. But it scares me that they are also making our men weaker, right? And I'm not talking about your age. I'm talking about my son's age. I'm talking about people younger than my son, right? They are slowly working on making our men weaker. And when the men of society get weak, the society has nothing.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't disagree. So a weak society doesn't matter how weak it gets. If you head over to My Patriot Supply right now, you can make sure that you have at least something when it crumbles. Mo, you were talking about My Patriot Supply earlier.
Hit it. Friends, the daily news headlines prove one thing. What were we just talking about? These cows laying face up, okay? Patas para arriba, como like how we say it in my culture. Patas para arriba. Anyways, the world is a fragile place. That means it's time to prepare for instability. Let me ask you, do you have enough emergency food on hand? Do you have enough frozen beef on hand? If not, go to your local ranchers and get some. And if you're not by a local rancher, don't worry about it because we got you covered here. We recommend My Patriot Supply, America's largest emergency preparedness company. Act quickly and save $150 on their vital 3-month emergency food kit, which contains a wide variety of delicious meals designed to give you over 2,000 calories per day. You get breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, and snacks for 3 solid months per person. And it's something that every American family wishes they would have when the shit hits the fan. I think we're past 3 minutes, so I can say shit. These kits are in stock and ship fast. Your order will arrive quickly in an unmarked box for your privacy. So go to preparewithbtc.com and save $150 on each 3-month food kit you need. Do it now, buy it now, and prepare with BTC. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. No, and absolutely be prepared. Always, for every scenario, all day, every day. Make sure that you're ready for anything that is thrown at us. Yeah. But no, Rhonda, you're not coming to my house. But the
Rhonda the lesbian, she wants to come to your house?
No, she says because she's probably seen a bunch of the pictures that I posted from all the freeze drying stuff I've been doing.
Okay.
But the big thing that I have a problem with this topic, Kevin, is when it comes to these facilities and all of that's going on. It's a little weird coincidence that right now we have a crisis in order in our economy, that everything is through the roof. And we have all of these things that are taking down these large suppliers. And then we have 2,000 head of cattle that just die from heat. When the heat that in Kansas, it was a little abnormally high, 4 to 8 degrees is what I read. And there was a little bit more humidity than normal, but nothing that they have not gone through before.
Yeah.
So for 2,000 head of cattle to die like that is pretty weird. Very weird. And you add that together with everything, with all the poultry farms and everything else that has been going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird sequence of events. Nothing makes sense.
No, and I it's not that I don't understand the skepticism. It's not that I totally would, like, that's the reason why I know what I know now, is because I was really, really, really worried about it. I was like actually legitimately starting to get concerned, like, what kind of collapse, what level of collapse are we looking at right now? Because we're about to see the fall, I believe. We're either about to see, or we're pretty freaking close to seeing the fall of fiat currency, government fiat currency. And that's going to have just an absolutely destructive effect on the world. But the way it has a destructive effect varies. A government, I believe, there is a way through the why I support what I do with capitalism. You can actually separate government from business and create a legitimate, the ultimate way the government can prevent everything from absolutely going south is by just going free market economy. If you remove the government's talents from the economy, the government's destruction necessarily can't have a devastating effect unless there's an actual military conflict going on. But that's me being way out there, right? But the more free market the worse the economy gets, the more free market the government will have to go to solve it. Because I promise I'll wrap this up really quick, because I'm like, this is just coming into my head. So you're getting fresh thoughts here. The more the government, the worse it gets right now, because it's going to be the fall of the current government's economic system. The more libertarian they will be forced to go, which means the more free market. You can only put the government in the market when the market's strong. So,
no.
And the thing is, the people in charge know that capitalism works, and that's all I'm going to say.
Agree with that. But the government doesn't have to come in when the market's strong. The government usually steps in when the market's weak, because they step in and say, "I'm the savior. Come to me. I will help you." Mm-hmm. That's what they did with prescription drugs. That's what they did with the COVID vaccine. That's what they did with all of those things, right? And so the government always tries to be the savior, to get everybody to be running to them and look at them as government dependent. And that's where I do disagree with that statement, that the government only gets involved when the market's strong. I don't see that. I don't know when the government has stepped in when it's strong.
No. I mean, the government can only come in when the market is set up well. The Great Depression happened. It was a natural occurrence in the market that would have rectified itself pretty quickly had not the government stepped in. But that kind of fall occurs in a market. It's what is the market's ability to rebound from the falls? Like, nothing will ever be 100% good. There is necessarily going to be bad times in all of it. So which one? This is why, like, my girlfriend, I picked her because she handles me when I'm being a dumbass better than anybody else, right?
I don't know. We do a pretty damn good job here.
You guys do, but it's the best system is the one that can recover from the bottom better than the rest. Communism hits the bottom and millions of people are dying. Capitalism hits the bottom. Well, it's going to come back really quick because people want shit. People want shit. Capitalism will always work. People want shit. Bam. I'm done for a little bit. I'm sorry, guys.
Thank God.
Right? Hey, Suni, are you ready? I pinged you in the private chat just to see if you were ready.
I had to explore that one. I had I got this little mild.
You totally hijacked my cow. Listen, you hijacked my cow topic, and I really don't appreciate it.
I'm sorry.
I really just wanted to talk about the pettiness of the cow conversation. And yes, Suni's going to come back. You guys, unfortunately, Bree had technical difficulties, and she's not going to be able to join us. So we're gonna have to have her back
happens.
another time. Yeah, it happens.
happens.
But I'll say one last thing on the cows. Okay, be weary of anything, because just like Kevin said, this has happened before, right? Okay, so why is it such a big deal now? Why is the media talking about it now? Because they want us to get in an uproar about it. They want us to think a certain thing. This is why, if anything, this is a great example why we have to question everything we see in the news and not always take it at face value. Because who knows? I could be totally wrong about the cows, or I could be totally right. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Like, yeah. I am usually pretty off. I'm just kidding.
Suni!
Right. Yeah, are we gonna bring her if she's ready? FYI, guys, I'm gonna end the page at the Truth Will Set You Free YouTube page, so that's gonna end right now. So if you're on that, you got the link in the comments. You can switch. So we are ending that page from being live. So switch over to the link that is in the comments as of right now.